Hello. First, I'd like to acknowledge our Creator and our traditional custodians who are both past and present of the land in which we live in, and just pay my respects to them, and just thank you that I'm able to come and present this to you. My name is Jason Bird. I'm a mental health support worker for Connections in Brisbane, and we have been funded to deliver workshops for NDIS, and I'm going to present today the Indigenous plan that we've formed to be able to present it to the NDIA planners. My family line is Gunglu and Juru, and we're located on the Central Coast. That's where my ancestry lies, and I actually have lived experience as well. I've had mental health for about 20 years, I think, and this is something that's very close to my heart as well. What I'm going to talk to you about today is the plan that we've developed for the NDIA planner, and the reason why we've done it like this, because we thought that it'd be a good idea to try and simplify it and to make it a lot easier for those that you present it to understand, and to be able to get the most information out that we can, because it will be in the detail of the plan that the NDIA planner will look at funding for those supports. Basically, it's very simple. We have here symbols of kangaroos and emus and hands, and it's a matter of the kangaroo in the middle is the person that you'll be presenting it to, and the kangaroos and the emus represent good days and bad days and what supports they'll get on those good days and bad days, and the hands represent what type of support they will get, and how that will be done. There will be a still shot that you'll see this filled out for you, but basically it's a matter of talking to the person that you support, either their worker or their carer or some other significant other, and it'll be about asking them what their bad day looks like for them. We like to start with the bad day first because that can be a trigger to some people, so that's something that you need to be aware of as well. So yes, if you can look at the bad day, and you can either use the emu or the kangaroo for your bad day or your good day. This whole plan is changeable, and you can work it to how it'll best suit the people that you support and the people that you work with. But for today, I'll just use the emus as the bad day. So you'll talk to the person and find out what they feel and how their mental health treats them on a bad day, whether that be anxiety or lots of voices in the head, confused thoughts, very depression as well, mood swings, all that sort of thing that might happen on a bad day for somebody that you support. We come out, find out what that is, and you can either work it from the emu, which will be the support that they get, who supports them, or you can work it from outside in and find out what supports they get from those particular people or services. So we'd come from, just for an example, we'd have a fellow here named Fred, and on his bad day he would have his support worker support him. So we'd put here across the emu support worker, and then from there we would find out what that support worker would do for him support wise, and he may take him for a coffee once a week, or he may give him a couple of phone calls during the week just to check in to make sure he's okay, or maybe even drop in and have a half an hour visit for a couple of times a week as well. That's what we'd put across the hand, and we just draw a line from the emu straight across to the hand, so that you know that support they get on that bad day relates to the support that they get for that. And on the other hand, when you want to talk with them about a good day and how they feel with it, we'd use the kangaroo, and they may only, because they are feeling so well and their mental health symptoms aren't showing as much, they may just want to meet with somebody once a week, whether that be They could be their mother, or they could be a support worker. The same thing applies. Whoever the person is that supports them on that day, you put across the kangaroo, and then you put on the hand what they would do with them for that support. So whether that's just a phone call, or take them down the beach, or whatever the support that they would use, that's what you put across the hand. It's very important when you fill this out that you get the detail, particularly of what the support needs are, because that's where the money factors in to fund the support needs that they have and how they're being supported. So you may have, on a bad day, you may have somebody's mother support them, and they may have to take them to their doctor's appointment, or to their GP, or to their caseworker, and that needs to be factored in there, because the transport situation with their car, all that sort of thing comes down to money, and that's what the NDIA planner will be looking at funding. So it's important that we try and get all that detail in there and know exactly what they do for them in that support and how they do it. Because the NDIS information says that they will support any reasonable and necessary support. So it's very important that you put, even if you think it's not relevant, that you talk with the person you're supporting and get them to put that down as well, because in the end it'll be up to the planner to decide whether they're reasonable and necessary, but it's important that you get down to that detail. Yep. Also, with this plan, we have a set of questions here that we've developed as well, and we can transfer the information we have from this plan. We can transfer that over into this one, and it basically talks about who will support you on your good days and what type of supports they will give you, who will support you on your bad days and what type of support they will give you on those days. Also, what services will support you on your good days and your bad days, and how they will support you in both those good days and bad days. Also talks about if for some Indigenous communities they will want to attend cultural ceremonies and events and things that have to do with Indigenous business. That's important to put down there too. If you need support to be able to go to those events, then you need to put down what support you receive from that, and hopefully the costings of that too would be good. You also have the choice of, once you've put it down on this plan, to put it into the participant statement, the NDIS, the government's participant statement, and that can be used instead of this to hand in and get assessed by the planner. However, this is sufficient to be able to fill out and to hand in and get it looked at. Just one thing to be aware of when you're presenting the plan, as we've found out in a couple of workshops that we've done, we've had people who have mental health, and when we're talking about the bad days with them, they tend to become distressed and even get triggered a little bit with some of their symptoms. So we just ask the person who is presenting it just to be aware of that and to take notice, and if that seems to be happening, just to pull that person aside, take them away from the group and just talk with them to make sure they're okay, and to see if they are able to come back and continue with it. This can be done over a few days or over a certain amount of time. If you can't do it in the one day, which may happen with some people, but it can be done over a certain period of time as well. So with the planning, you can either do it in a group session where you have the people that you support using one plan each to go through their support needs, or you can do it one-on-one. You can sit with a worker or their carer or whoever it is that helps them with their mental health, and you can sit down with them and do it one-on-one and get the detail that you need. Particularly with our culture, men's business, if it's needed that a male needs to talk with a male, then we need to respect that as well. And also women's business, if a female needs to talk with a female regarding their mental health, then that's to be respected as well and to be provided. So it's really about just getting that detail in the support needs and presenting that to your NDIA planner, and then they will assess then what support, what funding you'll get for that support. Thank you.
Just a note, when you're working with the Indigenous populations and you're completing the fish workshop and the kangaroo workshop, is after you've asked the questions about the bad day and the consumer has answered those questions, just cover them over, because we don't want to trigger the consumer at all. And that will enable you to work more positively on the good day.